how many reps should you do per set to grow muscle? I will explain in a logical fashion and I will give you a concrete example so at the end of the video you know exactly how many reps should you do per set per exercise. Hi, my name is Xiao. I'm a Chinese personal trainer living in France making content in English, trying to get to have natty status. I want to teach you everything I know about fitness so you can have more muscle and less fat. So let's get to the video. To answer this question, let's start from the top. What causes muscle growth? According to the literature, there are three drivers of hypertrophy or muscle growth, which are mechanical tension, muscle damage, and metabolic stress or cellular swelling. Of the three, the main driver is tension. Now, what is mechanical tension? Think of your muscle like a rubber band. As you stretch the rubber band, it creates tension. Now, something similar is happening inside your muscle when you lift weight. So how do we create the most tension possible? To get maximal tension, you need to reach muscular failure or get very close to it. To reach failure, you need to lift weight and do enough reps until your muscle gives up. And technically speaking, you can reach failure with any weight. If I were to do bicep curl with my phone, for example, I will have to do maybe 1,000 reps in order to reach failure. But that's not realistic nor practical because I would probably give up before I reach 1,000 reps. It's just too boring, or my local endurance would prevent me from doing that many reps. So practically speaking, in order to reach failure, you need to lift a weight that's heavy enough. Now, what is heavy enough? Any weight that you can do for less than 20 reps is considered heavy enough to cause hypertrophy. On some exercises, you can go up to 30 reps, but most exercises, you should aim for 20 reps or less. Because beyond 20 reps, it becomes much harder to reach failure. Let's take bodyweight squat, for example. I could probably do 100 reps or even more, but my cardio is going to be the limiting factor. In other words, my endurance is going to impede my muscles' ability to keep contracting. On the other hand, sets that are too heavy, like under 5 reps, are not ideal for building muscle. There is a famous study done by Dr. Schoenfeld and colleagues where they compared a group of lifters doing only 10 reps versus a group of lifters doing only 3 reps. Both groups got the same amount of hypertrophy because the 3-rep group did much more sets to compensate for the low reps. But there was a caveat. The 10-rep group finished the workout much faster, they were able to do more, recovered faster, and had less dropouts. The 3-rep group took much longer time to finish the workout because the weight used was much heavier and they had to rest much longer time in between sets, and they had more fatigue and had more dropouts. So practically speaking, doing at least 5 reps is considered the minimum amount to cause hypertrophy without having to do more sets to compensate. So from 5 reps to 20 reps, maybe up to 30 reps, each set is considered somewhat equally effective for hypertrophy because the total mechanical tension is roughly the same. So the minimum amount of reps for hypertrophy would be 5 and the maximum would be 20. So how do you choose between 5 reps and 20 reps? Should you do 5s, 10s, 15s or 20s? It depends on the exercise. Some exercises are more suited for low reps and some for high reps. Let's take barbell back squat for example. It's much more suited for 10 reps or less because beyond 10 reps, your cardio might become the limiting factor. On the other hand, bicep curl is much more suited for 10 reps or more because under 10 reps, you will have to use a much heavier weight and your form might break down. Generally speaking, the more muscle mass an exercise uses, the longer the range of motion is. You should do lower reps, like 5 to 10. The more isolated an exercise is and the shorter the range of motion is, you should aim for more reps, like 10 to 15, 15 to 20, even up to 30 reps. This is not to say that you cannot do high reps, for example, with a barbell back squat. You absolutely can. You just need to make sure that your cardio is good enough so it doesn't become the limiting factor. Same thing goes for the bicep curl. You could do sets of 5 to 10 reps. You just need to make sure that your form doesn't break down. Let me use an example so you can understand better. For my quad training, I do 3 exercises: hack squat, leg press, and leg extension. For the hack squat is the toughest exercise, uses the most amount of muscle mass. The range of motion is the longest, so I usually do 5 to 10 reps. Leg press is tough as well, but uses a little bit less muscle mass and the range of motion is shorter. So usually I do 10 to 15 reps with it. Leg extension is the easiest of the 3, only targets one muscle and the range of motion is the shortest. So usually I do 15 to 20 reps. But how do I know if I should do 5, 8 or 10 reps on the squat, for example? Instead of doing a set number of reps like 5s, 8s or 10s for each set, you should choose a rep range for each exercise. Let's say you chose 5 to 10 reps for your back squat, for example. Then you should load the bar with a weight that you can do between 5 to 10 reps. When you do your first set, you should aim for 10 reps. And after the 10th rep, you should be very close, if not to failure, which means you chose the right amount of weight. Then you take some time to rest and you squat again with the same weight. But because the previous set was to failure or very close to failure, you have created now some fatigue and it takes time for that fatigue to disappear. So on your second set, you can no longer do 10 reps. It goes down to 8 or 7 reps. That's okay because you are still in the 5 to 10 rep zone. And when you do your third set, your reps might come down to 5 or 6. Again, that's okay. It's not only okay for reps to go down set after set, it's normal and it's how you are supposed to train. You are not supposed to do always the same number of reps on each set because otherwise that means you are not training hard enough. Another question is, can I do just 10 reps for all my exercises? You could do that, but it's generally considered a good idea to include a variety of rep ranges. Low reps like 5 to 10, medium reps 10 to 15, and high reps 15 to 20, even up to 30 reps. Because each muscle has different types of fibers. Some of them are strong and powerful, called fast twitch muscle fiber. And some of them are slow twitch muscle fiber and more endurance. By doing a variety of rep ranges, you train all the muscle fibers. So let's summarize. To grow muscle, you need to reach muscular failure or get very close to it in order to maximize mechanical tension. To reach failure, you need to choose a weight that you can do for at least 5 reps and no more than 20 reps. And the last rep should be very close, if not to failure. The more compound an exercise is, the less rep you should do. And the more isolated an exercise is, the higher reps you should do. You should include low rep, medium rep, and high rep exercises for each muscle group in order to maximize hypertrophy. And your reps across the sets should not remain the same. Okay, that's it. If you have any question, leave a comment below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Bye bye.